All right, welcome back. This is episode number 3 on converting the E-Flight 90mm Viper to a turbine. Last episode we bonded these tabs on right on center line, and I like to install 2 fasteners in each one, and I'm going to show you how I do that. A lot of guys just use nuts and bolts, but I kind of use this method and it works pretty good. All right, we're going to drill 2 number 40 holes in each piece here. Okay, and once again, we're leaving these long. They don't need to be this long. They're going to get cut down to a distance of about this, but we're going to do that in another episode. So now I include, let me find them here. Include some 3/32 rivets and with the pipe. And we'll just put the head on the inside. Like that. That. All right, sometimes they got to be trimmed off every now and then, because depending on the length or the width of the liquid shim, like this side over here is way too long. So I like to just nip them down to about 3/32 of an inch sticking out. And these are fairly soft rivets. They're made of 1100 series aluminum, so they cut pretty easy. Okay, I can live with that on this side. So I normally squeeze them. I'm going to show you 2 methods here. This is a Knipex pliers where the jaws move parallel. A very handy tool if you ever want to pick up a set. It's like one size wrench does everything. I mean, they're really a great tool. You can actually buy these at Menards. So I'm going to squeeze a couple, and then we're going to hammer a couple. Just put them in there like that, and squeeze them. There you go. There you go. See, makes a nice little tail. Or you can basically just put them on a block of steel. Set it on nice. Up, grab. Yeah, here we are. Let me set it a little bit. Hold on. Set that rivet. All right, now we're just going to beat over the tail. So it works better squeezing them, but as you can see, it's just fine. They ain't going anywhere. Okay, so we're going to continue with, we're going to fit this here. In the previous videos, I really didn't do it in the video. I did it when I wasn't taping. But I just kind of tacked in the tank where the tank is stabilized. Now we got to kind of custom cut this piece to fit on the tank profile right here. So, that's what we got right now, and we need to make that fit. And we know it's going to fit when the spars slide through nicely. This is the one I did on the other model. It fits pretty good, but you can see, you know, all the cuts are a little bit different. But this is what you're going to want in the neighborhood, and we're going to show you how to do that. Once again, when I set the tank in, I made sure I had a popsicle stick distance in between the tank and the spar here. And what that does is that gives you clearance for this inner tube that supports the spar. So we're going to show you how to do this here. I pretty much know I can rough cut this piece right here, so I drew a line on it, about 3/8 of an inch up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and rough cut this. Okay, then I can rough cut all this out here. And we'll get rid of that. And then some of this can go down in here. All right, now it's a process of using the carbon paper again and trimming it up. All right, so it's kind of, you know, as you can see, we got a ways to go here, but, you know, we'll watch for the marks. Just kind of set it down level, look for where it's hidden. Well, it'd help if I have that on the right side. Here we go. We're hitting hard here, a little bit there. Let me grab a seat and get comfortable. So we'll trim that out. Trim that out. Trim that out. You know, I would say it's going to take probably about 20 times to do this, but it doesn't really take long. So once again, there's the marks. Then after we get the tank fitted, we're gonna work a little bit with the UAT. You see we're developing a few marks back here. Without the carbon paper, it's almost impossible. You end up with big gaps. And I will be including a chunk of carbon paper in the install kit because nowadays it's kind of hard to find. Once you get closer, you can just start sanding it rather than using a knife, and it gets it a little bit more accurate. I know that's going to have to go there. This area in here, it's a little hard to carve. Yeah, we're making progress. That piece is gonna go. It'll get there, you just gotta be patient with it. Once again, this is a job I really can't provide templates for because, if the tank is positioned a little bit different on everybody's model, it's, I can't do it. So, it doesn't take long to do this. Getting close. As you can see, we're like right now, it's developing a lot of black, which is a good thing. That means you're almost in 100% contact with it. So you just got to take all the black off and little by little and keep fitting. Just a couple more times. Very, very close. Probably the last time. What we got? One more time. Man, you know, I'm getting a little black residue on this. It comes right off of Windex. See, I mean, the whole thing is almost black. That means you're very, very close. That should do it. So we're going to bond this on in another video. I want to locate the engine mounts and get the pipe located and everything first. So that spar goes through really nice. This one goes through fine. I mean, everything fits real nice. We'll let you take a peek down inside of it through the tailpipe. Should have pretty good contact with it. And we'll look down the inlets. You got a good shot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's look down the inlets, pulling up to the light. I mean, once this gets glued in with a little bit of Gorilla Glue, I mean, it's not going anywhere. I'm adding structural integrity to the model that'll make our Vice President of JPO happy. Okay, so that's about all we're going to do on the fuselage right now. I might tweak it just a little bit more. There's still just a little bit of rock in it, but you guys got the gist of it. And then before we glue this in, we're going to make sure our wires are run. It's a whole lot easier to do it now, have them laid in there nice and relaxed before we glue this on. Okay, let's talk about the UAT for a little bit here. This one still needs it bonded in. You know, once again, the fuel system minus the flight control system, I mean, is probably the most important part of these turbine models. I've been using the MAP UAT for over 2 years. I mean, they really work good. It's a pretty simple device. There's no clunk in it. There's like a filter right in the middle, and they work really well. I like to have these installed solid in the model. You know, some guys just jam them in with scraps of foam or whatever, and they're wobbling all over the place. I like them rigid. Okay, so what I do is I make a little fiberglass layup of the UAT, and I'm going to show you, if you're interested in doing this, it doesn't have to be done. I'm going to show you how to do this in probably the next video. It's real simple. I just wrap this with some clear sulfane saran wrap, do a layup over it, pop it off, and trim it. I mean, and you get a nice little cradle where, I mean, the part just snaps in there. So what I did is I just hot glued on a little piece of Velcro here. That way, if you ever take it out, the Velcro is not flopping all over the place, and it's easy to get put back on. So we're going to go ahead and bond this in the model. I like the location of the UAT, just a little bit forward of the end of this carbon reinforcement that they have in here. You can see I got a black line down in here. So the UAT is going to go about there. And I like to keep the UAT as low as possible because they got the fittings coming straight out. I like to keep the interference with the hatch to a minimum. So I'm going to take out a little wedge right in there. And that'll make the UAT sit probably about 3/16 of an inch lower. Right there. That wedge out there. And I like to install the UAT on probably about a 25-degree angle or so. So you want all the air bubbles to stay up at the top here because there's always going to be just a tad bit of air in there. And if you can keep them up there, that's to your advantage. So that's how the UAT is going to sit, just like that. Okay. So I just hot glue it in. So I'm going to put some hot glue right on the edge here. I'm going to put a dab here, here, and here. And then we're going to stick it in. Let it hold there for a minute. There's no heat sink here, so it takes a second or so. And then I'm going to install another wedge-shaped piece of foam on the inboard side of it here, just to kind of hold it. Okay. So then I take another, this is from the inlet spike that we took out. It's got a little piece of foam there. You just have to adjust your height. And then we're going to jam that in there like that. Let that dry a minute. And you can see from this one that I did over here last night. I mean, you can, it comes out so solid. I mean, you can, it's not going anywhere. And you know, when you start to move your fuel lines around and all that, you just don't want the UAT moving. And this is we're going to talk about this, the receiver shelf. I'm having some laser jet cut. And you want to make sure that the receiver shelf isn't in contact with the fuel line going from the tank to the UAT. So the next step will be after the UAT dries, we're going to run the fuel line from the tank to the UAT, and then we can position the shelf in a level plane, which I'll show you how to do, so it doesn't interfere with this fuel line. Okay, that's about all I got for this video. Next video we'll be finishing up the UAT, the receiver shelf, and we'll be installing the engine mounts. Thanks for watching.